Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Inside the Trades. I'm Nicole here at Jill's office, and I have an amazing guest today. I have David with Lift Construction here in Utah, so it's local to us, which is awesome. And one of the things I love the most about this company is that they have so much heart and always want to give back to their community, and that's something that I've really admired about them. And so welcome, David. I'm really excited to have you today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so tell us about Lift Construction and how you guys got started.
So we're a restoration company slash construction company. So we deal with fire, flood, wind damage, and then we also do construction services like ADUs, add-ons, remodels, kitchen bath remodels, full on tearing roofs off buildings and second levels. And so pretty much anything construction wise. What really got us started was I worked at a restoration company for about 8 years before this, and fell in love with it. Loved helping people, loved seeing them at their worst moment and then walking them through the final product and getting them back to normalcy. And so I fell in love with that process. However, that company sold to a big corporation and it turned into customers as being a number instead of actually helping. And so they offered me all kinds of money to stay, but I was like, there's got to be more. And so we jumped ship. I brought a couple of friends and buddies with me to start this up, and we've just been growing ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah, to have some kind of passion behind the things that you do, it just makes everything so much more worth it. Otherwise, it kind of just becomes, an everyday thing, and you just fall into the same motions every single day. And so I really love that about you guys. And then, so how long has Lift Construction been in business?
So February, we're going on 5 years now.
Cool. And so you're in Syracuse, Utah, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So what's your service area?
We've done fires. We have a project we're doing right now out in Logan, and then we've had a fire rebuild out in Payson. So pretty much anywhere in Utah, unless we're going all the way to St. George. We haven't been out there yet. So
yeah. Awesome. And so, you did this before for 8 years with another company. Were you kind of recruited into this field of work, this trade, or is it something that you always dreamed about doing?
No, I got my master's degree when I was 22 years old, and the goal was suit and tie, up high up in an office somewhere, and full on businessman. And so I had a headhunter who was kind of looking for projects after I graduated, and she was like, hey, I've got this restoration company. Had no idea what restoration was. She was like, they're looking for a project manager. And I told my wife, she completely laughed, because if we needed to fix a little screw in a door because it was sagging, she would have me call my dad. And so I didn't know how to swing a hammer. I didn't know how to do any of it. And so I was like, I don't know about construction, but I went in, did the interview. It fit where I wanted to be. And I was like, maybe I'll give it a try. They gave me a booklet and said, here's our software that we estimate with, put me in a room and said, good luck. So I studied that for about 2 weeks. Then they told me I was going to be trained, but then they got an influx of jobs and pretty much threw me in with the wolves and said, figure it out. So I would get calls from my electrician and ask me questions. I had no idea what was going on. He was like, what kind of wires ran? So I'd go home. I'd be like, let me look into it and I'll figure it out for you. Go home, watch some YouTube videos and be like, okay, what the heck does this mean? And so it was just an industry I got thrown into and fell in love with. So it was, nothing. I had no previous background in construction, and I was starting to run construction projects and learn day to day and try to figure it out on my own.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. And I'm sure that sort of influenced how you run your business today. Is there anything that you take from that previous job that you wished was done differently that you're doing differently in your business now?
Yeah, there's a few things. We deal with a lot more customers because on that thing was strictly restoration, and anybody who wanted, a little bit of help or wanted any drywall fixes or any small job, we would turn down because it was just, hey, that's not something we focus on. And so instead of doing that, we focus on, if a customer calls us, even if we can't handle it, we'll get them in the direction of somebody who can. And so it's like taking all phone calls and helping all people. It's not one project is more important than another, or like, hey, sorry, ma'am, your you don't have enough damage for me to care. So it's like taking that into consideration where picking and choosing what projects we do. No, we answer every phone call and we meet every homeowner. And then if it's not one we can handle, or we're like, hey, we're going to be a little too expensive for this project, but here's where I would call it to take care of you. That's kind of the thing I've changed a little bit there. Also, there we didn't really have a team. It was pretty much I had my own projects and I dealt with the first communication with the homeowner, from the estimating to the project management to the collection stage. So we're pretty much all our own company dealing with everything. And here we're team oriented, where if my project manager has a problem, he brings me involved, and we can have 3 or 4 people figuring something out instead of just saying, good luck, it's on you, and don't have an upset customer call me, please. That's pretty much the philosophy there.
Thrown out to the wolves, figure it out on your own. I mean, that's some of the things we hear a lot about. I mean, from employees in general, like they want support. They want to feel like, they have someone they can turn to for help, or even just mental or emotional support.
Oh,
to know they can, to know that they can go to somebody. So with that being said, I would love to learn a little bit more about the name behind Lift Construction. Because I feel like every time I've talked with you or anyone on your team, there's a sense of a lot of caring. And I feel like your customers can tell that. And so why the name Lift Construction?
Yeah, we've got a lot of backlash on it as well. So it's more of trying to get the perception out there of what it means. A lot of people think we lift concrete or lift something. And so it's strictly based off of what our values are for people in our community. And so it's lifting our community one step at a time. And we're doing a drive right now for back to school programs, where we're donating to 5 local schools, right, where we have to get 80 backpacks and all kinds of other stuff for homeless kids and kids that can't get those type of things. And so, we have another one later on in August, where we're helping teenagers who don't get food. And so we're providing bags of food to donate to children and stuff in need. And so it's just constantly trying to find ways to lift our community. We host quite a bit of networking things, and we host them right here in our office. And then we also take phone calls from other companies. So it's not only lifting the local community, it's lifting the other companies that are around us. It's lifting just whatever we can to provide help in whatever area we can provide. So a lot of service for kids and adults, and we do care baskets for people who just had a fire. So they might have just had a fire and lost everything. So we provide 48-hour care baskets to say, hey, this will help you get through the next 48 hours. Here's some of the necessities you may need. And so, the name is strictly our values and helping our community.
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing, because business owners are in such a good position to help their community. And like you gave 5 different examples of things that you can do, maybe even more. And so it's a lot easier than you think if you kind of figure out, what you're passionate about, what your team really loves to do. And so I think that's really unique about you guys. And I love that it's in the name, and I can see how that could confuse some people, which is why I wanted to ask, so we can put it out there, lifting others up in your community, which is amazing. So, so what have been some of your challenges as far as owning a business?
Well, it's a lot of personal challenges. Like I'm really big on making sure I'm a part of every single job, like making sure I was just alone so long that it's hard to be able to utilize my team in the correct way. So probably only the past 8 months I've really let go of some of that control and let them actually, because if I'm over every single thing and I'm watching over, it's like, if they make a mistake, they're afraid to make a mistake and they're not learning from those mistakes. And so a lot of these smaller mistakes I've turned more into learning experiences instead of like, hey, why did you do that? What's going on here? And I've been able to open so much more of my time. And the office side, especially the office management side, where it's like invoicing, collections, documentation, filing, like letting go of that side of it and having our office manager, half of the stuff that we have now, I would have never even thought about, or it would have not even looked that good. So it's like, and now I have projects where it's like I'm letting my project managers fully take on those roles. And I only know of those jobs because we have weekly production meetings. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what's even going on because he has full control. And I could see the excitement in them, and they're way more excited in their roles because they're like, hey, he trusts me. And so that's been the hardest thing, is actually taking away that control of me feeling like, hey, if I'm not part of this, it could fall apart, and that would lean on me. So, but yeah, it's been the biggest game changer for us too, is me letting people do what they were put in place to do.
Yeah, getting out of the way.
Yeah. Like
Basically.
not like kind of knowing that, this company's not because of me, it's because of us as a whole. And realizing that it's like we've been able to take on way more volume. We've been able to do a lot better. Like they're doing jobs different than I would have. And it's actually like, hey, that's actually a better way of doing it. And I would have never seen that if I kept being like, I need to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
So.
I love that you say that, because I have literally talked to thousands of business owners in over a decade just at Jill's office. And the excitement that an owner finally realizes once they start to let go of some of those things, it's nerve-wracking because,
Yes,
you are giving up control, but you realize like there are people in your organization that are so much better at you at the admin stuff and at project management, because you got to have someone that's leading the ship that has the vision, right? So vision and knows forecasting for the entire business and where to point the right direction. And it's so hard to do that when you're doing invoicing and you're talking to every customer. And so I think there's this feeling of maybe guilt that you're not in the business doing all the things. And then once you get past that, like you said, people they light up because now they have ownership over their thing and they just want to kill it in just what they're really good at. And so giving them the freedom to do that, it empowers people, and you build such a strong team. And so I love that you found that, because I have talked to a lot of owners who aren't there yet, and they're just like, nope, no one can do it like I do it. And, but the problem is that you're looking at it this close and you really can't see the big picture anymore. And so that's really good news. I'm so happy for you, because now you can actually think, right? You have more capacity to use your brain and your creativity in your business. So that's awesome.
Well, and it's because the rewarding part of my past job was seeing somebody at their worst moment, like their house is completely devastated, and then doing the final walkthrough with them when it's all back to beautiful and it's pretty much a remodeled house for the insurance. We work within the insurance budget. And so seeing their face of the final product, I don't get to see that anymore because the project managers are running the projects. And so that's the hardest thing. But then seeing my employees get a win and seeing that excitement from them because they won something that they did themselves is just as satisfying. So it's like finding your passion in something else. And that's where I found it, where it's like, they saved a homeowner because they got something under budget and they're excited about it. It gets me excited because it's like, cool, you actually thought of, giving back to that homeowner, or you went an extra mile to find something cheaper to get back. And so it's pretty cool to see it that way too. And it's gaining new passion towards those aspects of the business instead of my old passion of like, I get to walk this homeowner through the process and then I get to see their final look. And so, yeah, that has been by far the biggest change. And it's the hardest thing they've all sat me down and talked to me like, we can do this, Dave, just trust me. And so it's been the hardest thing for me to give up. But the last 6 months has been amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what do you think separates Lift Construction from some of the other companies in the area that kind of do something similar to you guys?
Yeah, there's a lot of good companies out there, and everybody pushes communication, but we take that communication to that next level where it's like, we want to service our customers in a way where when the project's done, we're not like, okay, forget that person. I never want to talk to them again. I'm glad that's over. No, we want to get invited to the barbecue 3 months from now in your brand new kitchen we just helped you build. So then it makes us think of the projects in a little different light. It's like, hey, we see a little thing that the homeowners might not like, and we're going to fix that because 3 months from now when we're back with them, we don't want them to tease us saying, what is this? What is this? So it's like, let's provide a quality that 4 or 5 months from now, they're still going to love. They're not going to see things where they're like, what the heck was this? I didn't see that 3 months ago. And so, yeah, it's building that connection with these homeowners where we can invite them out like, hey, we're doing a community service event. We would love to have you come out with us, like building a connection with them. Because at my old project, it was all about, oh, we have a hard homeowner. Let's wait. I can't wait till that finished job and we're done with this homeowner. It's not like that here. It's like, how do we build that connection to where they're calling us back multiple times? They're calling us because they're having a family barbecue and they want them to invite us. Or I had one project we just finished where he invited me to his daughter's graduation. So it's like building that connection farther than just communication and building it like, hey, this is a teamwork and you're part of our team has really separated us. And like, if anything, if they have any projects in the future, anything, they're like, you're the person I'm going to call.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that really speaks to, I mean, your values with lifting others up too. Like you're really building a community. And I think that that's the best way to go because it's not like you're servicing people clear across the country. You're servicing your community here. And so you're really focused on that. And I love that about you guys. And so what would you attribute your growth to the most? Like, what do you think has helped over the years and just really taking off?
I would say relationship building because it's like we're in 4 or 5 marketing groups and meeting with people and being like, okay, you're not part of our industry, but I'm going to find out how I refer people your way. It's, you might be a real estate agent and that's not really, I get homeowners who want to stay and remodel their home, not move away, but there's got to be aspects where I can still push people here and just, it's a give type relationship. And it's not just like, hey, I'm only going to communicate with this person because they're going to feed me work. So it's like a relationship building, a team building, team continuously growing and learning. And if we just, don't learn from our mistakes and we just stay stale, then we're never going to be able to grow to that next level. And so, yeah, the teamwork growing, our relationships growing, us keep doing our social impacts and growing our relationships that way. That has really been, because there's people who I pull up in my truck all the time and they're like, oh, what do you do at Lyft? And I'm like, oh, I'm the owner. And they're like, well, we hear about you constantly. And not in the aspect of construction. They hear about us in other aspects because it's like, oh, you helped my buddy do this. Or I heard about your guys' thing on Facebook where you're helping kids. And so many people say they've heard about us and we're so deep in the trenches that we don't know we're out there as much as we are. And so it's pretty cool to hear like, people are talking about us, seeing us, hearing about us. We're building those type of relationships where if our name comes up, they're like, oh, we love those guys. And so the relationship building is what we're really focusing on.
Yeah, cool. So if you were to talk to somebody who was maybe in your shoes before at your previous job and they were thinking about starting up some kind of business in the trades, whether it's construction or maybe it's even just plumbing, HVAC, what kind of advice do you think you'd give them?
Well, there's quite a bit of advice, but the main one I would probably say is just answer your phone. If you have things scheduled, hit those schedules because I've gotten so many jobs early on where I was the 3rd contractor on the schedule, but I was the only one to show up. So I got that job whether they liked my estimate or not because I showed up. Or I've got a couple on Google where he said he called 10 contractors and I was the only one to answer. So I got the job. So it's like, if you're answering and you're following through, you're going to get way more work than you could ever imagine because there's 10 or 20 other people you're working against that are so busy that they're not answering those phone calls or they're not taking those leads or they're missing for some reason. And then just learn your crafts. Like I've gotten yelled at by my team because I've probably changed our scope of work and what we wanted to market. We're finally where we want to be. And it's like, this is what we're pushing. This is what we're marketing. But I'm like, hey, what if we could do this? Or, hey, what about this and this and this and this? And they've had to kind of bring me down. And they're like, let's find something we're good at and just focus on that. Because if we're everywhere and we're telling people we do everything, then we're not going to be skilled at one thing. So just know your craft. If you're a plumber, then focus on plumbing. Find out if you're a residential plumber or a commercial plumber. If you're an electrician, same thing. If you're finished carpentry, are you good at trim and hanging doors, or are you good at custom trim? And just know and that's how you push the people. Hey, this is what I do, and I know what I do, and then make sure you follow through on everything you say you're going to do. And it's pretty easy to kind of take off.
Yeah.
And especially if you're talking trades, as in you only do plumbing, electrical, it's pretty wide open to where you get in with a good couple of general contractors and you're as busy as you ever want to be.
So what are you most excited about for the future for Lift Construction?
There's quite a bit. We're getting quite a bit more into commercial buildings, full-on builds. We have HOA type things we're bidding. We're looking at purchasing our next shop where we're building a 30 by 20 conference room that we can start hosting some of these marketing events, and doing a lot more of my dreaming type things that I'm thinking.
Is there anything else you want to share about your business? Anything you want to share with customers or just anybody?
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is lifting the community, as you know, and that doesn't just go to customers, that goes to contractors as well. If you already have it, I'm not going to get it, so I'm not your competitor. I just want what's best for the homeowner. And so I have people call me all the time like, hey Dave, I'm kind of in a pickle here, and I can walk them through like, hey, this is what I'd probably do, or this is who you could call who might help you in that situation. And with customers, we're always trying to grow our customers and get that next person in to help us build our community. And getting those projects doesn't just, pay the bills here. It gets us to that next project that we want to do to help the community, whether it's flying out to help a state that got flooded or do whatever we can to help kids, or our next one's going to be for Thanksgiving to help get turkeys to people in need. And then the one after that's going to be the Toys for Tots that we're planning on doing. And we're trying to build a community of customers, and then contractors. We're not competing here. We're all in this together. And I'm more than happy to jump on a phone call and tell you that's an awful idea, or no, that sounds like a good idea. Let's, if you need any help, go ahead and give me a call in a couple of days. Yeah. And so, always here to help. If I help one person, then they're helping another. And if I don't help that person, then that's me going away from my values of helping the community. So always here, whether it's in the industry, outside of the industry, back and forth talk like this, and trying to brainstorm of ideas, because obviously I have a lot of those, so do you. So it's jump on a phone call and say, hey Dave, Claude's making me angry. I want to spit this idea to you. And then that'll probably be a bad phone call, because then me and you will be like, yes,
What ideas at the end of that conversation?
But so it's no matter what, I take every phone call, and I just want to help people. That's what this is all about and why we do this.
Awesome. So if anyone wants to get in contact with Lift Construction, how can they find you guys?
They can either go online. We have our website at liftut.com, and then they can also give us a call into our office. You can find us on Google or Facebook or anything like that. We have all of our contact info there. And we're based out of Syracuse. If we do get the new shop, we'll be in Clearfield. And so, swing by and come say hi or do whatever you want to do.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dave, for hopping on here, and stay tuned for more episodes of Inside the Trades.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.